The ready is a less common but flexible opening that controls the center with the knight before committing a pawn. Knight f6 develops the knight toward the center and controls the d5 and e4 squares. c4 controls the important d5 square. This prepares the bishop for development. Knight c3 develops the knight toward the center and controls the d5 and e4 squares. Bishop g7 puts the bishop on the long diagonal in a move called a fianchetto. The bishop is ready to be developed to an active square. Castling kingside tends to be safer than queenside because the king is further from the center. White develops the bishop and attacks the center. This strikes at the center to fight for space. This overlooks a better way to defend a pawn that was under attack. This misses an opportunity to strike at the center with a pawn. Takes back. This moves the pawn to safety. This prepares the bishop for development. There were worse moves, but also something much better. The rook joins the board early, building a strong opening for white. This attacks a queen, winning a tempo when it moves away. This misses a better way to move a queen to safety. Good job bringing your bishop out early to build a solid position. This allows the opponent to win a pawn by eventually removing a key defender. Sacrificing the knight was the right idea. This wins a pawn. This defends the attacked pawn. This wins a pawn by removing a key defender. Recaptures. That pawn was free for the taking. One of the best moves. This wins material. Developing the bishop and increasing influence in the center. The knight was sacrificed, a stunning move. This wins material. This wins time by threatening a rook and forcing it to move away. This forces the opponent to lose castling rights. This evades the check from the rook. Ignoring the threat on the queen, a difficult move to see. This permits the opponent to eventually win material. This wins material. This evades the check from the bishop. This is the only move that works. This move puts the knight on a safer square. This evades the check from the knight. This reveals a check. This steps away from the checking bishop. This moves the knight to safety. This steps away from the checking knight. This reveals a check. This evades the check from the bishop. Recaptures from a previous move. This wins a tempo by threatening a bishop and forcing it to move away. This wins a rook. A very strong play. That was a free rook. This creates luft for the king, providing it an escape square. That was a free pawn. Very precise. After all captures, this is an equal trade. This offers an equal trade of pieces. Trading pieces is a good strategy for black. This is the strongest option. This blocks the check from an opposing queen. Recaptures from a previous move. A solid choice. The knight finds a new active square. Right on target. White's piece has moved to a square with greater activity and control. The passed pawn moves towards its goal. One of the best moves. Very precise. A very strong play. An active king is critical in the endgame, and getting it off of the back rank is the first step. A solid choice. This wins a queen. This allows the opponent to force eventual checkmate. This forces an eventual checkmate. This evades the check from the knight. This is still on the road to checkmate. This evades the check from the bishop. This continues down the road to checkmate. This steps away from the checking bishop. This continues the checkmate threat. This steps away from the checking knight. This continues down the road to checkmate. This evades the check from the knight. And the game is over.